Yeah.
Okay, all right, we're recording. And, oh, you know what? Actually, yes, we are recording, but it's not going to record our voices unless we dial into the conference call.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to hang up and let's dial into that conference call. Do you have the number and the access code?
No. Where is that?
Okay, let me give that to you. It should be on the GoToMeeting bar, but I'll give it to you.
I have the ID and the GoToMeeting ID.
Yeah. The meeting ID is the same:
219-421. Yeah.
141, and the telephone number is 408-650-3113. 408-650-3113.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's recording. Okay. All right, so let's get started. Do you want to cover the gift certificates first, or would you like to cover passwords first?
Yeah, I think gift certificates is easiest to show us.
Okay, so let's start there.
Yeah.
Okay, if you have never sold a gift certificate through the software, the first thing that needs to be done is you have to set up the gift certificate. So we're going to go to Setup, and then from Setup, we're going to go to Configuration. From Configuration, we're going to go to Gift Certificates, and then from Gift Certificates, we're going to select Setup. Now, this gift certificate setup window comes up. The important thing is the next cert number and the starting number. The starting number can be any number you'd like. It just defaults to number 1. But the next certificate number, if you have pre-made certificates that are already numbered, then you're going to want the next number in your sequence to be this number here. If you just write your own number onto the certificates, which is fine, then you can make this number anything you'd like. And it'll be your next cert. You know, I mean, you can even make it number 1, but do you really want your first gift certificate sold to be number 1 and your second gift certificate to be number 2? Probably not. Just to show that you've been around for a little while, you might want to start your certificate number at something like 2500 or whatever number you'd like.
Okay, so we can fill in there the number that's on the gift certificate if it's there, if it has pre-made numbers.
Yeah, if it has pre-made numbers, then you're going to put in your next certificate number that you're going to sell right here. And if it doesn't, then you can put in any number you want there. Every time you sell one, it'll use the next number in sequence. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and accept that. Then in the sales screen, when a customer comes in and they would like to buy a gift certificate, whether you add them new or you pull them up from your database, after you've got the client name here, then you're going to click on the button that says gift card or gift certificate.
Yeah. And
that'll bring up this window. This is the gift certificate purchase window. So first, you're going to have the information of the person who is buying the gift certificate. That's the name of the person that you pulled up in the first place. Okay, now the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to say who they're buying it for. Now you can fill this information in if it's not already in. It'll pre-fill if you had that information in the client file. If not, you can add it or not. You can just do it by name, which is fine. Next, the person that it's purchased for. It can either be somebody brand new that's going to be added to your system, or it can be somebody already in your database, even the same person that just bought it. And the way to pull up somebody in your database is you click on this button here that has the pictures of the people. So I'm going to go ahead and click that, and I'm going to say that Jim is just buying it for Jim, or he's going to give it to somebody, but it's just Jim buying it. So here we've got Jim, I've got Jim, and again, if that information was here, I can click on this little button here, and it would move all of this information over to the right. Really simple. Next, after we've chosen the person that we want to sell to, who it's purchased for. So now we've got purchased by and purchased for. Next,
and Matt,
go ahead.
If there is no specific specification for who you want to buy, you can easiest fill in the same name for both sides.
Oh, certainly, absolutely.
That's the easiest, because you can't leave it blank, or you can.
That's right. Yeah, okay. You can't leave it blank.
Okay.
Yeah, just like I did here, it's just Jim is buying it, and he's buying it for Jim.
Okay.
Okay, so now what I'm going to do is down here in this square, I have gift package. If you have pre-created gift packages, they will be listed here. If you don't have pre-created gift packages, they won't be. Next, we'll put in our dollar amount. So this is the value of the gift certificate. So maybe I say 100. And I can now put in an expiration date. And I do that just by putting in the date and the year. And then when I hit tab, it'll format it for me. So now I've got my, and if you leave it blank, by the way, you can leave it blank. If you simply leave it blank, though, it'll default to 12/31 of 99. That's like a symbol date that tells you that's not a valid date, but that's all that means. Next, we've got sales source and sold by. You can leave these blank, but you probably should, at least this one you want to know who sold it. So you can choose the person who sold it. The sales source is just how they heard about you. This is your marketing, you know. Did they hear about you through newspaper, television, a friend, whatever? Or you could just leave that blank. Next, I've got this section here. Do not mail, recipient, shipping charge. If you're charging for shipping, maybe you're going to mail them a gift card or something like that. But in this case, this person came into my business to buy this certificate, so I'm not going to deal with any of this. I'm just going to leave this all blank. And over here, I'm going to leave all of this blank as well. Over here, I've got print off, cancel, and accept. If I click on print off, it'll show print on. That will print this number. That's really all it's going to, and the names. If you have pre-made gift certificates, then you don't want this. You're just going to type this number in to the certificate. I mean, you're going to write the number in onto the certificate, or, as I said before, if you have pre-made certificates that have numbers already, then this certificate number should be the next number on the sheet that you've got there because you told it what you wanted to start with. Okay. So next I can say, go ahead.
Sorry, one more question on the reading of the numbers. So what number do I fill in the setup? Is that say we're previous number. Yeah, the previous number, but we just have gotten a new batch of gift cards, and my first number, the first one on top is the first number of the batch. I fill in that number, and then when you
set up the gift certificate, when you go through that process of setup, then you put in the next gift certificate number. So that way, when you go to this point, that number will be here. So it'll match that certificate.
So if I sell the next one, it will count on the next number and so on.
That's right. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So we'll go ahead and accept that. The client's name is already on file. Would you like to view it? No, I don't need to view it. And so now I've got Jim is being sold a gift certificate by the business, $100, ready to go. And I'm going to go now to payment. And I'm going to sell it to them. So let's just use cash. Okay, done. Now, the next time that person comes in, they're going to have your certificate, and they're going to have that number on it. So Mr. Fabiani comes back, maybe a week from now, maybe a month from now, whatever. Maybe it's his wife. Somebody comes in, and they are going to get a European facial. So Jim saw Jessica, got a European facial for $75. And we go to payment. This time, we're going to select gift certificate as a method of payment instead of cash or check or credit card. We're going to choose gift certificate. And if it's a gift card with a magnetic strip, you can swipe the card. If it is a paper certificate, then you're simply going to type in the number that matches the gift certificate. So there it is. Balance on file is $100. It's $75 that he owes. He's using the gift certificate, and accept. And accept. Done. Now, maybe a couple of weeks later, he comes back, or his wife comes back, and they get another European facial. And they would like to use their gift certificate again because there was a balance left on it. So they're going to use the gift certificate again, put in the number, and now there's only $25 left on it because they had spent $75 before. So there's only $25. That's the most that they're going to be able to use that gift certificate for. So we're going to go ahead and accept that. And then they can pay with cash or check or credit card or some other form for the balance. So maybe we'll say cash. And now they've paid the whole $75, $25 on gift certificate, $50 in cash. So that's how gift certificates are sold and accepted. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Now, another question that you had regarding gift certificates was, how do you sell gift certificates that you've already sold, or how do you get them into the system?
What we're going to experience, of course, is in the past we have sold, of course, gift certificates, and we registered them in our old computer system. But those gift cards, of course, are still valid. I mean, the people who bought them, they don't have anything to do that we are changing systems.
Right.
So I was wondering, would you know perhaps a way in which we can easily register the numbers and then
okay, there's two different ways to do it. First, if you can export that gift certificate information and send us that file, then we can actually upload it into your software.
Yeah. I'm not sure that that's gonna work.
Okay, that's fine. So that's fine. I can show you how to do it manually as well for each one.
Please. Yes, please.
So let's say you get the information. You know what the number is. You know what the value is. The number is not what's important. The important thing is the value.
Yeah.
Now, in every client file, let me go ahead and pull up a client file here. In every client file, they're going to have a button that says gift certificate status. And if they own a gift certificate, then the information will be in there. And I'm going to show you why this is important in just a moment. So this is the gift certificate that he bought for $100. He used all $100, so he's got a balance of 0. Now, what you can do is you can get the old gift certificate information, and I'm going to sell, let's grab anybody here, it doesn't matter. John here, John Dabney. I'm going to sell him a gift certificate. Now, you see on your old information that Mr. Dabney bought a gift certificate for $300. Now, if he never used it, then it's still $300 value. But if he did use some of it, then you need to know what the remaining value is. So you could say, okay, maybe it's $275 or something like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell him a brand new gift certificate for that amount. So we'll go ahead and just put Mr. Dabney in there. And I've got my new number here. And we're going to go through the same thing. This is going to be $275. And, you know, again, I can put in an expiration date. Say who sold it. And I'm going to go ahead and accept this. Now, the important thing about this, he doesn't owe you $275 because he already bought it in the past. This is simply the value he has left on it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to modify the price. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to apply a discount. Whoops, highlight, discount. And I'm going to discount it by 100%. I think I need to use a coupon code for that. Let's see if I have 100% discount in here. I think I do. I have a manager's comp. There we go, 100% manager's comp. Okay, so this is 0. Now, I just discounted it to $0. And I'm going to go ahead and accept the payment, cash, for $0. And done. So now, even though you took no money for it, and all you did was you applied a gift certificate to his account for $275. When he comes in to use his old gift certificate, so John comes in, he wants to use his old gift certificate, and he's going to get a specialty facial here for $150, and he hands you his old gift certificate. All you need to do is go into his information, and you can pull up his history and go to gift certificates, and it will show you the gift certificate that you have entered into the system for. So this is what you want to do. You want to hit history and then press gift certificates. It will show you that certificate that you have added to his file and the number. So now you can give that to him or not, it's up to you, but you can use this number. So his old gift certificate is now, you know, it's got $275 on it, but it's now has no value really, because now you're using the new one, and we can go into payment, and put in his certificate number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and balance on file is $275. So even though you accepted no money for it, it still has the balance that you said was its value.
Okay.
That's what you do when you apply a 100% discount to a gift certificate. That way you can give him the value without taking any more money because he already bought it.
Yeah, or you can, like we discussed before, you can put it on other payments.
Say that again, I'm sorry?
We can put it on other payments as well.
Yeah, you could put it on other. Yeah, it doesn't matter how you do it. Absolutely. But remember, you know, in this case, what you're doing is you're actually creating a new gift certificate that you can trade him for his old one. So you can take his old one, throw it away, and give him the new one. And he's using that now. So now you've got a real track of it. Now you've given him a gift certificate that's being tracked in the software. This is the preferred method. Manually, of course, if you're not going to upload all your old ones. But if you're going to do it manually, this is the preferred method. Could you go with other? Absolutely. So let me clear this. And let's say a client comes in, like Cyril here, and she's got an old gift certificate, or he's got an old gift certificate, excuse me. And he's going to get acrylic tips, $65. We go to payment, and we choose other. Now, one of my options is old gift certificate. And I can put in the old gift certificate number if I want, whatever it is. So I'm accepting this payment on old gift certificate, and I can run a report on every sale that was done using old gift certificate as its method of payment. So yes, you can do it this way as well.
Okay. And
but you would have to create old gift certificate as a unique method of payment. Do you remember how to do that?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just making sure. So yes, that would be another way to do it. Those are two different ways. Remember, the way I showed you about selling him a gift certificate for $0 with the value, that is going to actually give him a gift certificate on file. So now you're going to be able to report on your gift certificates properly. So it's that's the preferred way. But if you want to do it using other method of payment, absolutely you can do that as well until those old gift certificates are cleared through your system. Because every new gift certificate that you sell, of course, will be done through the software.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about passwords, unless you have any other questions on gift certificates.
Nope.
Okay, so passwords are going to work like this. We have to go to Setup, Configuration, General, Passwords. Setup, Configuration, General, Passwords. And when you're there, if you have never set up passwords before, it's not going to look like this. Instead, it's going to ask you to enter a master password, and then it's going to ask you to retype the master password. The master password is what is going to give you access into the password section and allow you to turn passwords on or off. But it should not be used as a regular password. It should only be used to get into the password section and to turn passwords on and off. Everyone is going to be assigned their own unique password that is different from the master. So I've already created one, so I'm going to enter mine. Now, one of the things you need to know about creating a password is that any password you make, whether it's the master password or a password for a specific person, must be at least 7 characters long. And it must have at least 1 letter and at least 1 number. So for instance, a password like LSTH 123 would be a good password because it's got letters and numbers and it's 7 characters. Or you could do 1, 2, 3, 4 LST, something like that. That would also be a good one. So, and any combination, anything you like, at least 1 letter, at least 1 number, and it must be at least 7 characters long. It is case sensitive. So you may want to consider, doing everything lowercase or something like that. It is case sensitive. So after you have created your master password, you will be brought into this passwords section. Now, the way I want you to think of passwords is like this. Everything in the software has a door on it. Without passwords being turned on, all of those doors are wide open. You can just go anywhere. What passwords lets you do is close the door and lock it. And then, with the master password, you close the doors and lock them. Then with your individual passwords, you're handing out keys to those doors. Some people's keys will open every door, like a manager or an owner. Some people's keys will only open certain doors, and they won't work in other ones. So that's kind of the way I want you to think of this. So the first thing we need to do is, where it says password here, is retype our master password. And when you do that successfully, the word master will appear on the left here in green. So that way you know that you have successfully put in the master password. If you typed in the master password and hit enter and it doesn't show master here, then that means you made a mistake. You didn't put in the right master password. So it must say master in green here. That's how you know you put in the right master password. Now you can go to all of these different tags here, and you can set up different things. So I can go to general. Now, everything, let me go ahead and just uncheck those. This is the way it would look. Whatever you put a check next to is, now you're going to close the door and put a lock on it. So I'm going to put a check next to reports and other and utilities and setup. I could do more, but these are the locks I'm going to put on those doors. And then accept. Then I'm going to go to sales, and I've got a lot more doors here. And again, I can put a check next to anything I want to block. Like I'm going to say here, I want to block rollbacks, and I want to block voiding a transaction. I don't want anyone to be able to void a transaction unless their password lets them do it. And I don't want them to resell gift certificates either. So I'm going to put checks next to whatever it is I want to prevent them from doing without a password, and accept. Then I can go to appointments, and I can do the same thing. All of these are doors. And I'm going to put a check just next to these three: book appointment, unbook appointment, and reschedule appointment. So I want people to have to use their passwords to do those three things. I could have blocked other things, but those are the only three things I'm blocking. And then in my client file, again, I can say, hey, I don't want them to be able to modify a client, or I don't want them to be able to view the client's history. But in this case, I said the only thing I don't want them to be able to see is the client's telephone numbers, address, and email. I want to block them from seeing that. Maybe, because again, their password might let them see it, but other passwords might not. So that's what I've checked there. In inventory, I have nothing checked, but I might say, you know what? I don't want them to be able to void a purchase order. So I put a check there. And then in reports, lots of different reports. And I might say, I don't want them to be able to create a list or print a list or export a file of my customers. So I put locks on those doors. So I do that throughout each one of these tabs. And when I'm done, I hit accept. Now I have locked the doors that are important to me. But now I want to give somebody the right to open those doors. So I'm going to create a brand new password here. I'm going to call this LSTH123. So that's my password. And I hit enter on my keyboard after I type in the password. And now I go to my list of employees. And I get to say whose password this is. So I'm going to say this is Abigail's password. Now I can give it a time. How much time, how long is this password going to last? And what do I mean by last? When she puts her password in, if I put 15 minutes, it'll give her all of her rights for a whole 15 minutes. If I say 1 minute, it'll give her her rights for 1 minute. If I say no time, it'll give her her rights for 6 seconds. So like a manager, you might want no time or 1 minute. But maybe somebody at the front desk who has very limited rights, you might give them a whole hour so that they're not always having to put in their password over and over again. But maybe for a manager, I would have no time. That way their password doesn't last. I'm going to go ahead and say 5 minutes, and then I put in the username. The username should be the same as their operator name. So I've got my password, who it's for, the effective time, and the username. And now I can press accept. Now what I've done by doing that is I've created a password, but I haven't given it any rights. So now I'm going to type that password in again, LSTH123, and I hit enter. And when I do, their information should come up. If I typed that password in and it said no operator, then that would tell me that I didn't put it in right. So when I put it in and I hit enter, I should see the staff member that I assigned it to. So now that I've pulled her up again, I can now go to general. These are the locked doors. All the ones that are grayed out, they're still wide open. She doesn't need a key for them. These are the locked doors. So I can put a check next to the ones that I want her to be able to have access to. So I'm going to say I'm going to let her get into reports and other and setup, but I'm not going to give her the ability to go into utilities and accept. Then I can go to sales, and I'm going to say she's going to be able to void transactions, but she's not going to be able to resell or do rollbacks, resell gift certificates or do rollbacks. Then I go to appointments and say, yeah, I want her to book, unbook, and reschedule appointments, but I want to know it's her. And clients, I'm going to give her the right to view phone numbers and email addresses. And in inventory, I'm going to let her void a purchase order if I want. In reports, I'm going to say, yeah, she can look at operator reports and commission reports, and she can create a list, but she can't print a list or export a file. So this is what I do. I go through each one of the tabs, and I put a check next to the doors that I'm going to let her open. And what I leave unchecked, she can't. Remember, the ones that are grayed out, those doors aren't closed. She can get in them automatically. But the ones that are now blue, because those are the ones I checked under the master password, those are the shut doors. So if I put a check here, she'll be able to get into payroll. If I don't put a check here, she won't. And accept. And when I'm done, I press accept, and now I can put in my next password. Now, when I'm done putting in passwords, I need to turn passwords on or off at my convenience as the owner or a manager. So I can go to Setup, Preferences, General, and it says Password Protect. It's the very first one under Setup, Preferences, General. My first is Password Protect. Right now, passwords are not on. I can go into reports, no problem. I can do anything I want. I can book an appointment, unbook an appointment, reschedule an appointment, all without it asking me for a password. But now I'm going to go to Setup, Preferences, General, and I'm going to turn passwords on. Remember, to turn passwords on or off, you must use the master password. So I'm going to put in my master password, and now my passwords are turned on. Now if I try to get into reports, it asks me for my name and password. Abigail, LSTH 123, and I'm in. And if I had a password that didn't work, now remember, her password lasts for 5 minutes. So when she's done, if she walked away from her computer, she should press this button that says clear password. Clear password. Now if I go to reports, it asks me again because I cleared the password. Let's go ahead and do it again. Great. Now she does what she needs, she walks away, but her password is still active. And this time she didn't press clear password. So if somebody else walks up to it and hits reports, look, they get right in. Why? Because her password is still active. So if you have a timed password, if you've got time on your password, remember, like a manager, it only lasts 6 seconds if you want, if you put no time. But in this case, I said 5 minutes. So it's important that you clear the password. Now the next person walks up and hits reports, and they don't have the right to get in. And it says, sorry, your password does not allow you to perform this action. We go into sales, we can do whatever we want, we go to book an appointment, and I'm going to try to book an appointment. Teresa here is my client. We're going to give her a facial. We're going to choose a European facial with Lachey at 12 o'clock. Oh, I need to put in a username and password. And now I can book my appointment. And now the system knows that it was me who did it. In fact, if I look in my client's information, I can see that it was booked on October 24th at 9:13 a.m. by Abigail.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, if you came in on a day that you were closed and you needed to do a bunch of things. You were going to be adding inventory, you were going to be running reports, maybe setting up some payroll or commissions, or whatever it is you were going to do. And you're the owner, or you're the manager, and your password has no time on it, so it doesn't last after you walk away from the computer. Every time you try to do something, it's asking you for a password over and over again. You're like, oh, this is driving me crazy. Well, you're the owner. So you can go to Setup, Preferences, General, and turn passwords off using the master. And then you can do everything you want without it asking for passwords. And then when you're done, turn them back on so that they're ready for when your staff comes in the next day.
Yep.
That's it. That's passwords. Do you guys have any other questions for me today?
Can you change the master password?
You can change any password at any time. So you can go to Setup, Configuration, General, Passwords, use your master password to get in, and then I'm going to go here where it says Password, and I'm going to put in Abigail's password, LSTH123, enter. There's Abigail, and I can hit Change, and I can create a new password for her and accept it. All of her rights will still be there. It'll just be a new password for Abigail. I can do the same thing with the master. Put in my master password. There's Grain and Master. I hit Change, put in a new master password, and accept. So yes, you can do that. Also, you see where it says copy? So let me go ahead and clear that. LSTH123. So this is Abigail's password. And maybe I want to give the very same rights to somebody else. But I don't want to have to go through all of these buttons again and check off the things because they have the exact same right that Abigail has. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit copy. And now it says enter new password. And I'm going to do LSTH456. Enter and choose a new operator like Anna. Username, Anna, and accept. So what I just did was I just copied all of Abigail's rights to Anna. So LSTH456, enter, and look, I don't have to check. They're already done. She has exactly the same rights that Abigail had. So I don't have to go through that whole process again. I can copy somebody's password and give it to somebody, and give the rights to somebody else under a new password.
Yeah, so that's copy, new password, new operator, same username as the operator, and then accept, and then it's copy.
That's right. You've got it. And of course, this is recorded, so you can always go over it again, too.
Oh, that's very well. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead and exit out of that. Any other questions?
And if they have the passwords, it's necessary for them to check in and out?
Not necessarily. If you want them to, yes, that's one of the things that you can put a lock on. I'll just stay in here. So for instance, under the master password, I could have put a lock on program startup. That would require their password to get into the software. So when they try to launch it in the morning, they wouldn't even be able to launch it without first putting in their password.
Mm-hmm.
So you could certainly do that. You could even have it on exit appointment, so they can't even get out of the appointment screen unless they have a password that lets them do it. Things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions?
No, not for now. I think we have to set up the passwords. I emailed Anthony with some questions regarding the email confirmation because we followed your instructions you gave us last time, but unfortunately we didn't receive any confirmation email. So I hope he can fix it anytime soon.
Since you tested that, you sent him the information?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll just check in with him to see what he's had to say about that. Specifically, you said that you're not getting the appointment confirmations. Is that right?
Yes, that is right. Yeah, because you tried to put the Transcend Live and the Darcy.exe in the folder, but it didn't work. So I asked our technician to do that for us and to activate it, but unfortunately and we ran it, of course. We ran Darcy in the software. We didn't forget that. So, but we didn't get it. So there must be something.
Okay, yeah, definitely have him take a look at that for sure, and I'll question him about that as well.
Oh, that would be great. Thank you very much.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Okay, I guess that's it then, and I will send a copy of this training to both of the emails, the Rick email and the info email.
Yes, please. Yeah.
All right, you guys have a great day.
Okay, thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.